Central. WABG Greenwood, Greenville. First in the Delta, this is WABG TV6 News, the Delta's news source.
A family watches the river and hopes that a loved one will return safe. Searchers spend another day on the river looking for a missing construction worker feared to be drowned. Good evening, I'm Jamie Ferguson.
And I'm Heron Wilson. For the second day, rescuers scanned the Mississippi River near Rosedale, hoping to find a missing construction worker. It's our big story tonight. Authorities continue to search for James King, the 31-year-old construction site worker who fell into the Mississippi River on yesterday.
Joining us now to tell us more about the search and how the King family is coping is reporter Ingrid Kelly. Ingrid, thanks for joining us. And this had to be an emotional day out on the river.
Jamie and Heron, you can only imagine how family and friends of James King feel tonight. Unfortunately, the body of James King has not been recovered tonight, and as authorities continue to search, the King family continues to pray. It's a family's worst nightmare. A loved one falls into the Mississippi River, and after a day of searching, still no signs of the body. Unfortunately, this is the reality for the King family of Rosedale. Yesterday, family member James King was working at the Montgomery Point Lock and Dam construction site near Rosedale when he fell into the river. King was working at a cofferdam, which is a temporary walled enclosure used in construction to resist pressure from water. Now, what events took place next and led to King's fall are still unknown. About 7 miles down the Mississippi River, officials continued their search for a missing construction site worker, but unfortunately, the family already fears the worst.
It's really just hard to believe. But most of all, we don't know what really happened over there. Nobody haven't really told us anything.
But in a fact statement, the construction company told WABG that search and rescue teams from Bolivar, Washington, and Desha counties are assisting with the search. The missing worker was wearing the required safety equipment, including a life jacket. The search will remain active until the man is recovered. But family members say they won't be content until safety measures are increased at construction sites.
When you fall and if there's no one out there to get there, people got to come away from Greenville, Grenada, and all the different places. By that time, there's no hope. There's no hope at all.
And Jamie and Heron, the search will continue until about 6 o'clock, well, actually, and about 6:30 tonight, and then if they don't find the body, it will resume tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Ingrid.
Thanks, Ingrid. And more local news tonight, negotiations for Greenville waterfront property picks up again tomorrow. The City Council and casino partnership officials will work on a lease deal for the Las Vegas casino. Currently, the casino pays the city fair market value for the waterfront property on Lake Ferguson, more than $27,000 a month. Tomorrow, negotiations will include the mayor, one member of the council, and members of the casino group there. It will be in a closed session, despite promises that future negotiations would be open.
Indianola buyers and businesses beware, there's phony money circulating. Authorities say advances in technology are more than likely to blame for the increase in counterfeit money. Indianola banks have received some fake bills in January, and since then police have been looking out for the fake money. The best way to ensure no bills in your pocket are counterfeit, double check for the watermark. And as for the new style of bill, police say people still haven't gotten used to their new look, so counterfeiters rather stick with the old.
Carlina Fultz, the 23-year-old Greenville woman who was accused of murdering a Delta Democrat Times employee, pled guilty to a reduced charge of manslaughter. Fultz received a 10-year suspended sentence, but will be on probation for 5 years. Fultz had been charged in the July 1998 murder of Michelle Clark, a mailroom employee at the newspaper.
An Indianola police officer is still waiting for word on the status of his job. The Board of Aldermen should decide today on whether Robert Dismuke keeps his job or not. He was fired after allegedly shooting and injuring a suspect. The police chief says Dismuke was out of line, but Dismuke is appealing his termination. The Board of Aldermen will consider the issue today.
Well, Jamie, there is good news for one Delta town this evening. It will be seeing more police money from Washington. As
Victoria Grant reports, the tiny town of Metcalf will soon have more lawmen on their streets.
It's a sleepy little town of around 1,500 people.
But the crime rate here is on the rise.
But we have a lot of influx of people coming from other communities to visit relatives or friends, what have you. And that also helps to increase the crime rate.
Metcalf is the second smallest incorporated town in Washington County, and for years, Chief Jim King was the only officer in town. Now they have a staff of 3, but with a new $358,000 government grant on the way, 2 more police officers will be hired.
Can't be in for one place at a time, and with the community, it's so widespread now with all the new apartments. In fact, we just got a new apartment that was opened up on yesterday, and instead of building them, and every time they build a new set of apartments or a new house, somebody from somewhere else other than the Metcalf community moves in. And so that's bringing in other people from other areas that used to live in your larger cities, and they're a little bit more loose, and it's going to create some problems.
Residents say this will help their community.
Well, one reason is because you'll have round-the-clock service as a police department, and then it won't be so much stress on the ones that we have.
Chief King says the town of Metcalf sees its occasional burglary, but their biggest problem is juvenile crime. He hopes with the increased staff, Metcalf will remain a growing and safe community to call home. In Metcalf, Victoria Grant, 6 Eyewitness News.
Now, Chief King says they are posting the jobs now and hope to have a full staff by the summer of this year.
One Delta town in Bolivar County is making strides to better their community by adding at least 50 new jobs. The town of Mount Bayou will seek at least $50,000 in a block grant to help develop a new industry. Officials say the funds will be used for infrastructure development for a company called Labco Industries. The company will manufacture bleach and janitorial supplies. A public hearing concerning the grant has been scheduled for March 8th at the Cleveland Courthouse. And in more news tonight, working on the farm seems like a safe job, but farm accidents occur all the time. Farmers say that many of the tragedies can be avoided. At Mississippi Delta Community College, preventive measures are being taught.
We have more people die farming than we do in mining or construction when you compare numbers. And hopefully through this program, it'll make somebody stop and think before they take an action that might take an arm or a leg off or take an eye out or possibly kill them.
Many issues discussed were as simple as working with a lawnmower and the dangers of using plastic jugs for transporting gas.
For your safety, Washington County Emergency Management will sound tornado sirens the 1st and 3rd Wednesdays of every month. They're turning on the alarms to make sure the system is in good working order, not to warn people of severe weather. So as to not cause confusion, the test will only occur in good weather. If weather doesn't permit the test day, it will take place on the next good weather day. This is just a reminder for all of the people caught off guard by the sounds of sirens today. And for a quick check of our weather, or rather, the Inverness tornado sirens won't be going off quite as often. The fire department has been using the sirens to alert volunteer firemen of a fire, but the 911 system in the town was upgraded, so now all of the firemen have pagers. Without the need to use sirens for fires, the sirens will only sound in bad weather. Mayor Bill Lang says all residents need to be aware of the change.
Good news for the town of Inverness.
Absolutely. For a quick check of our weather, we'll go to Christopher Mathis.
Thanks, Jamie. This certainly did qualify as a good weather day, just not quite as warm as we expected. Let's check current conditions in Greenwood. Fair skies, 56 degrees with a dew point of 31. The relative humidity just 39%. Southeast wind 9 miles an hour, and the barometer's rising 29.74. Some rain is starting to show up on radar. We'll have that and the complete 6-day forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Chris.
Thanks a lot, Chris. Well, Jamie, some city officials in Shaw want some questions answered tonight. Efforts to purchase a badly needed fire truck will be delayed in the city of Shaw. That's because aldermen didn't show up at a board meeting this week to handle the business.
Mayor Roger Dale Carter says the city clerk and a few firemen were the only ones who showed up for the meeting.
The meeting was scheduled for Tuesday night. It was set at the February 2nd meeting that was attended by the full board.
A fire official says the firemen were on hand to recommend accepting the Tupelo bid for the fire truck.
From the Delta's news source, you're watching 6 Eyewitness News with Jamie Ferguson and Aaron Wilson.
For coverage you can count on in Inverness and Mound Bayou, you're watching 6 Eyewitness News at 6. Coming up, it's rainy days for folks in the big city. Fortunately, our forecast is a little better. Weather's up next.
Plus, radio lollipops curing low spirits in the hospital. That's the topic of tonight's Delta House Call on WABG TV 6, the Delta's news source.
Jackson State, Mississippi Valley, huge game coming up Saturday. We'll preview it coming up in sports.
It's back. It's bigger than ever. The Great Percent event at your local Ford dealer. Just announced. Lease Ford Expedition for only $389 a month. That's right, just $389 a month. Or choose low 1.9% financing on every new Ford Explorer. That's 1.9 on two-door, four-door, even Eddie Bauer models. $389 on Expedition, 1.9 on Explorer. Two great deals, one top choice. But hurry, the Great Percent event ends soon. See your local Ford dealer today.
That's because we were here to deliver the immediate cardiac care he required. Delta Regional Heart Center, close to your heart.
Delta's got it all. Cash or refund check at Delta Chevrolet. No additional charge. Refund! Just use a portion to purchase any vehicle. Any vehicle. New, pre-owned program, Cadillac, old, Chevrolet, Nissan. Anything, everything. This includes the new Silverado. You can get this Sentra for only $178 a month. Oh boy. Delta Chevrolet. 401 George, right in the heart of downtown Greenwood. And Delta's got it all.
Now here's a rare opportunity to own a special order of Pizza Inn's pepperoni for only $9.99. But pepperoni's not all you get. You also get 2 more toppings, a choice of handmade crusts, savory sauce, 100% real cheese, and more. Plus, Pizza Inn will cook your pizza for you and even put it in its very own box. Wow! That's right, America. For a limited time, buy Pizza Inn's pepperoni for only $9.99 and get 2 more toppings and the rest of the pizza free. But act now because this offer is hot.
Now, 6 Eyewitness News Storm Team meteorologist Christopher Mathis.
Scenes here from New York City, where you might expect it to be cold enough for snow this time of year. They did have temperatures in the 30s, but the precipitation was liquid as raindrops fell on the heads of people walking through Manhattan. And the rain has pretty much ended now, and of course with umbrellas up, as you might expect, the city just kept bustling today. Weather history takes us to the other coast, San Francisco, 100 years ago today, where their temperature soared to 80 degrees, the warmest day they've ever had in San Francisco in the month of February. Today didn't turn out real warm for us here in the Delta because of the clouds mostly, and we stayed at 54 for the high in Greenville. Greenwood did make 58. Lows this morning, 36 here in town, 33 for Greenwood, and the records for this date, 11 and 79. Officially no rain yet, although for some of us that's going to change before midnight tonight. Now we have had the clouds around for much of the day. The bulk of the cloud cover has been from Highway 82 off to the north toward Memphis and Little Rock, and way north of us is where most of the rain has been so far. But look at these clouds developing here in southeast Arkansas just in the last hour or so, and some rain is coming out of those, and it is heavy in a couple of spots. The bulk of the precip, again, is well north of the viewing area, but we'll zoom in on this right here that's headed toward the Mississippi River. Actually, we won't. We don't have the local radar there, but there is a pretty good shower with some heavy rain that may be getting close to the Lake Village and McGee and Crossett areas pretty quickly. Could wind up right into the Greenville area within the next couple of hours, maybe even some thunder and lightning with that. But the stuff should actually stay fairly scattered tonight. We've got a low pressure center that's approaching the Mississippi River, and that'll swing on by and bring a few scattered showers with it. Best chance of rain this evening will be from Greenville and Greenwood to the north. Then that thing pushes away tomorrow. Should be a very nice day for us with cool high pressure working in, a breezy day with some sunshine and some clouds mixed in. And then by Saturday, we've got another cold front that's going to come down. That thing should push through dry, bringing just a few clouds but it will be bringing us some midwinter-like temperatures, it looks like, before the weekend is over, with morning lows dropping back down below freezing. Here's our forecast for tonight. Mostly cloudy skies and some scattered showers. A chance of even a thunder shower in 1 or 2 spots with a low of 37. The wind shifting to the west, 8 to 12 miles an hour. Tomorrow, clouds and some sunshine, the high 53, and breezy, a chilly day, northwest wind at 10 to 15. The weekend looks good. Now, as you work north from Greenville and Greenwood, there is a slight chance of a little bit of rain on Saturday. I doubt that that'll make it down to where we are, but some clouds, the high 55, and then a little colder Sunday, starting off around 32, the high just 50, and it's looking like upper 20s by Monday morning, and then we'll start a little bit of a warm-up up to 55 during the day. Chance of some more rain for Tuesday with the next storm system that comes through, and we don't turn much colder behind that one.
All right, pretty sunny for the next few days, though, it looks like.
Yeah, after tonight, and some of us are going to get wet tonight, and it shouldn't last too long, though. It should be long gone before the sun comes up tomorrow.
All right,
Thanks
very
a lot,
good.
Chris. For coverage you can count on in Greenwood and Grenada, you're watching 6 Eyewitness News at 6. Still ahead, a lollipop cure for the hospital blues. Delta House Call is next.
And then creating a computer world so that people can understand the effects of cancer. Those stories coming up after the break on WABG TV6 News, the Delta's news source.
Delta House Call, brought to you by Bolivar Medical Center. There's a new face in Cleveland, and he's bringing new life into our area. You'll find him at Delta Obstetrics Gynecology Clinic. New Life is Dr. Brad Baugh's specialty. Along with partner Dr. Mark Blackwood, they're providing the most up-to-date general OB/GYN care, including state-of-the-art laparoscopic surgery and incontinence treatment for women. At Bolivar Medical Center in Cleveland, our #1 objective is your well-being, starting with pleasant surroundings and the area's finest medical team.
Imagine TV.
Well, I think he's as good at playing safety as Mercury Grand Marquis.
I give him 5 stars.
As the only full-size in its class with a double 5-star crash test rating and the largest trunk space in its class, Grand Marquis is a strong team player. And with 2.9% APR financing, it's no wonder Grand Marquis is also the #1 best-selling full-size car and #1 in owner loyalty for 3 years running.
Looks like everyone can be a Marquis player
if they see their Mercury dealer.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury.
Hey, grab me some chow. For you, my friend, no sweat. Bang.
Hi, guys. May I take your order?
Want personal service? You got it at Sonic. Great food, too, like our famous chicken strip dinner. Served hot and crispy with fries, Texas toast, gravy, and a medium Dr. Pepper, all for just $3.99. And this month, try our chocolate-covered cherry sweetheart shake.
Pretty sweet service, huh? We'll be home before the commercials are over.
Drive in for a change at Sonic.
At Levingston's Furniture, we're celebrating our 67th anniversary. Yes, Levingston's Furniture is celebrating 67 years of providing you high-quality furniture at low, low prices. Right now, all bedding's on sale, all living room sets on sale, all dinettes on sale, all bedroom sets, you guessed it, on sale. Plus, we'll pay the sales tax and give you 0 interest for 1 year. Right now at Levingston's Furniture, Highway 61 South in Clarksdale and 131 North Street in Cleveland.
Welcome back. Well, when it comes to humor, some doctors agree laughter really is the best medicine. Inside one hospital, the radio is proving to be a good device.
Especially when it comes to cheering up the lives of patients. Joining us now to talk more about humor in the sick room is our own Dr. Scott Nelson. He joins us for our special Delta House Call. Thanks for being with us, Dr. Scott.
All right.
And we all heard about humor in the sick room with the big movie Patch Adams.
Sure did, starring Robin Williams. It was a really funny show and a true story indeed, and that was his whole premise, to inject humor in medicine, because the old saying goes, laughter is the best medicine. So indeed, Jamie and Heron, as you'll see in this next story, the radio and kids make for a good combination, especially at this hospital.
You're listening to Radio Lollipop. Welcome to another terrific Tuesday show.
Meet Buzz.
Remember, the phone number is 4444.
He's a real DJ, but this radio station is a little different.
Can you play a song?
Yeah, what would you like to hear?
I swear.
I swear?
Listeners are patients 4 to 17 years old. Radio Lollipop runs inside 17 hospitals around the world. This one's in Miami.
What are you doing calling in? It's just almost 8 o'clock now, and if anybody wants to call right now at 4444, I just opened the phone lines.
The program airs from 6:30 to 8:30, 3 nights a week. It's a nice break for 9-year-old Lourdes who has cancer.
I think I'm boring without it.
Anything that will keep the kids' mind off what their problems, I think it's a necessary thing.
Music, contests,
You're right, Michael. Congratulations.
and requests.
Hakuna Matata.
Kids keep tuning in.
These kids really need something to latch onto. And if we can bring them some fun and entertainment that makes them forget about the hospital, we've done our job.
2 hours later, it's time to sign off.
Well, unfortunately, we're just about out of time tonight. Good night, everybody. Have a great time.
For the Delta House Call, I'm Dr. Scott Nelson.
Now, Scott, we see a lot of kids in those, laughter and the medicine work well, but do you do it with adults also?
Oh, sure. And I think the days of those old gray hospital walls and stark, dark hallways and stuff are just, they're gone. And we want to make the hospital a warmer and friendlier place because studies have shown, or common sense just tells you that if you've got a nicer, warmer hospital that is cheery, it helps to brighten you up. Most people don't want to be at the hospital, and as a patient, certainly, and you want to make the experience as pleasant as possible. And I certainly think our hospitals here locally in the area have made great strides in that direction, too, I think.
All right. Thanks, Scott, for that
You're
house
welcome,
call.
as always.
In more medical news tonight, health experts say cancer treatment can be brutal. Family members of some Boise cancer patients got a taste of what one side effect of the disease feels like. On board this truck are computers that provide a virtual experience. It leads you through a list of routine house chores, giving you the fatigue feeling patients get from chemotherapy. The virtual reality truck travels all over the country, giving a better understanding about one small part of having cancer.
And for coverage you can count on in Cleveland and Clarksdale. You're watching, there I am, 6 Eyewitness News at 6. Up next, 2 big basketball rivals raring to hit the hardwood. This weekend, Jay has the preview coming up in sports.
Then the hurt goose is back on the loose. An update to that story we brought you last week on WABG TV 6 News, the Delta's news source.
Yeah, I have a cheeseburger without pickles.
I'll check. He wants it without pickles.